Okay, well, thanks, panelists, for joining us today. So as you guys can see, we're going to talk about how to create a sustainable and predictable business. Who wouldn't like that? I mean, I feel like, oh, let's give that a round of applause for the title. Love it. I came up with that. Thanks. But I've been to a bunch of panels. I'm sure you guys have attended some panels as well. And TK and I have talked at length many times about how annoying, surfacey, and like just dumb these panels are because nobody gives a real answer ever. Yeah, it's a lot for dumb. This panel is not going to be like that. I'll make sure to get us some actionable items from these rock stars so that we can take them and apply it back to our business. But first off, why don't you guys just go down the line? Brady, you can start. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your production, your business, anything you want to share, and then pass it on down.
Yeah, no, I'm Brady. I'm 22 years old. I joined Tyler's team in October of 22, so just over a year and a half now, and I sold over 30 houses, and I love it. That's right.
I'm Uncle Tony Rusher. I've been with the Taco Bell team for just a little over a year now. Actually, yeah, it was just the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, worst year of my life.
Yeah, worst years. I've been doing this for about 13, 14 years. Sold over 200 homes. I love what I do. It's the easiest and hardest job all at the same time. So. Bill Shaw, I've been with TK Homes since the beginning. What was that, 3 years now? 2.5 years? 2.5. Full time for 2.5 years. Sold over 100 homes.
In 2.5 years.
Yeah.
In a down market.
Yeah, down. It's question. But yeah, down market.
For most people.
Yeah, so that's my story. I got 2 young boys who take up half my time anymore. So.
One of them's TK.
TK's my work.
Redheaded.
My name is Melissa Foxman.
That's all.
And
I know it's June, but we're doing the clock, right?
I have been in the industry over 11 years. And I think so over 200 hours for something.
The way you said that was just so impressive. Like that, and
I got a small team.
get over it.
Yeah, that's it. It's a great business. There's a million different ways for you to make money, and that's cool.
Well, thank you guys. The electricity between us, it's the same. Again, for those of you who haven't met me, my name's Tyler Miller. I'll be moderating and trying to get the secret sauce out of all these guys so you guys can take it and apply it to your businesses. We will have a little bit of time, hopefully at the end, for you guys to ask questions to them as well. So please hold your questions for the end. And let's get the show on the road. We'll just kind of round robin, just pass the mic down after you give your answer and go from there. And if you don't have anything to really add, you just pass it. Okay. But I did send these questions ahead of time, so we should have some things to add. So first one that I think I would want to know if I was in the crowd today is this question. Hey, if you had to make $100,000 this year, what's your game plan / focus?
Sphere, focus on your sphere, love up on your people, but I would crank out 5 to 6 open houses every single weekend. Open houses are office hours. That's when you send your emails, catch up on phone calls, and if you get a walk-in, boom, you get a client. So do it.
Yeah, open houses for sure. That would be my number one. Absolutely. But to try and do something different would be fun. I asked this question probably a month ago, and I came up with 5 different things I would do every single day. To give you one of those, basically, in order to make $100,000 in 6 months, you have to make 350 phone calls a week. So I would find how to average that out, whether you call every day, maybe you take a day off during the week, maybe you do call 3 times a day, whatever that equals for you. And I would call that every single day without exception.
What type of calls you make and who you call?
So start with your CRM sphere. So any leads you are working with, any active clients in the new sphere. And then from there, it's up to you, you know, on our team, we have a lead link. I'm sure that maybe you have something similar to that. And then past that, you gotta go find who that is. Whether that means you're gonna go try to do giveaway to get some phone numbers, maybe you go sign up for a different lead source on your own. Vulcan 7 is one that I use, or try to use as much as possible. That seems to be the best rate of return right now because it's all seller based. So you're gonna make more money than listing than you will buy side.
When you're calling your sphere, what are you calling about? So I think that's one thing about people struggling.
Yeah, it's if you haven't done it, it's uncomfortable. I can tell you that it gets more comfortable as you do it. For me, the definition of somebody in my sphere is somebody I want to build my life with. That's how I think of that. And so whether that means personal life or business life, I mean, in this industry, you kind of have to connect both. So if there's somebody in your CRM or your sphere that you feel like you shouldn't call and just be like, hey man, it's been a while, how's life been? If you can't do that, they're probably not supposed to be in your sphere. So that's literally my question almost half the time. The other half of it would be like, I saw they posted on Facebook that they just took a trip. So I'm gonna send them a text and say, hey, how was the trip? It looked awesome. Can't wait to hear about it. That's a door opener question. Real estate will always come back.
Awesome.
So, excuse me, asbestos. I'm not even set up a sphere, and that's the majority of this. I don't cold call, I don't do any of that stuff. Open houses are absolutely a great one. I can see that, something new for sure. But, the biggest thing I did growing my business for the newer agents out there is, door knocking. You have to get in front of people. You gotta get over the sphere. You call it, if you're gonna do it, get over the fear. Just do it. Repetition over and over again. Go knock on the door. Have somebody tell you to go screw off. You get threatened to have a hospital, and it's gonna happen.
Tony, can you give us some examples so we can go a little deeper?
Yeah.
Let's go
How do
deep.
you leverage door knocking for not only growth, but also client acquisition and conversion.
What was the first part of the
Go a little bit more detail on how you can use door knocking to multiply what we've already got going in your business, just from conversion to new client acquisition, stuff like that.
So really, I think the biggest thing is when you go to door knocking, you can get, when you can actually show up, it's amazing how many people want to actually invite you. So this whole scary thing that the commentary call them and stuff like that is kind of a falsehood. It was amazing the first year I did it. It was embedded into multiple. Just that to be shown us. That is just a great way, when Bill was talking about sphere, these are people that you can continue to follow up, you get their number. You've been in their home, shown it to you, you've built that relationship. And then you can use that to help them with neighbors. Maybe they're not. I've seen Max and Brady actually did this on our team recently. Going in, talking to somebody, and that person sat there and said, listen, I'm not selling, but I know these guys over here are. You should go talk to them. So you're starting to get in, and that's the big thing, is just, I mean, it is such an easy way to go get leads, because the key to this business is not anything more than getting in front of the people.
Good. What are you saying, or what should you do not going to go when they?
That's a good one. No, I don't talk to any other department. Yeah. Yeah, I just say, I'm a local agent, or just out, just, what our area, I have, new applicants, that are looking within this area, whether that's true or not, is that.
Well, we all have, somebody in our network has a buyer looking in the neighborhood. That's an easy one to always fall back on. Right?
Easiest way.
Your neighbor down the street just sold multiple offers, we're looking for more inventory in the neighborhood, do you know anybody looking to sell? Super easy.
It's that's the go-to, for me. I don't try to come up with any, magical thing, I just kind of come up and talk to people. I have a gift to be able to talk to people a little bit easier, to make them feel comfortable. But we have a reader, it's a weird thing, I don't know, it's how I ended up with 3 kids, but. That's how I'll tell you, right now, it's just being able to step in there and be able to have that conversation and just say, yeah, just have somebody interested in your house. You know, would you be considered, are you considering selling, you know, have you be interested in what your house is worth? You know, we might show you around, you know, what you've done recently, you know.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, I know Tony, and I don't think you door knock too much right now, but early on you did.
I actually just did, around Eagle Lake and Big Lake, and I did, over in Zimmerman.
Okay, but I was gonna.
I touched you.
You touched on it, not well, depends. But you touched on that, Tony just gets out and talks to people, like in general. So what's something you do once a week that you get paid to do, that's just like you with your magic is like, you took that.
I got a part-time job 1 day a week usually, and I go work at a bar. I did 7 meals in the bar this year. I sat and put on a Tyler Miller hat, they sit in the bar, and everybody sits there and goes, oh, how long have you been doing this? He says, oh, this isn't my main gig, I'm actually a realtor. And then you go into the horrible conversation of interest rates in the market, you know what, when you get to talk with people. It's amazing, I had a business card with those people, and I ended up getting that home.
And why I mentioned that is, that's not Tony getting a part-time job, that was a lead source he chose to invest in. He's also helping out friends doing that, but now he gets paid to go and prospect and have drinks and stuff. So like, it was just a very creative idea that you guys gotta think of things you can do in your life that you enjoy and just do more of that.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Somehow.
Most expensive. No, I'm just in the. I don't want to, I really look at where it's, how much it's something, or how, you know, maybe how stable it is, you know, so I will go look at how recent the sales are in there. There hasn't been a sale there since the 90s, and these people are crap, and they're gonna want to lose. And that's it, right? You want to find people who are.
They're gonna die soon, just kidding.
I'm like grim reaper. But no, I look for neighborhoods that have not had a ton of sales or a ton of traffic. Within the last 7 to 10 years, I think the average person sells a house every 7 to 10 years. Yeah.
Do you show up with anything? Like, do you have,
Business cards and myself. So.
okay.
Yep.
Everybody kind of had the same exact thing, they're having conversations, if you're not having conversations, you're not gonna do anything. You go just post on social media and you don't message people that are liking your stuff or commenting on stuff, if you're not having conversations daily, you're never gonna make $100,000 like question 7. For me, I'm doing every single one of these things like that, I'm doing open houses, I'm cold calling and I'm door knocking. I'm doing it all, I just wanna have conversations with people to just get people to know who I am and what I do, whether that's at the bar with Tony or if it's at the golf course or whatever it is, I'm just trying to have new conversations every single day.
Anything else?
I mean, everybody said everything else in the say, so.
I think it's interesting that not one of the people that are making $100,000 or more a year mentioned social media. Now, I know you touched on it briefly, but that's a big takeaway I want everybody in this room to have, is that wasn't the first thing you led with, okay? And there are people that make good money just posting on social media, but do think in order to have a sustainable business, you're gonna wanna be doing these actionable items routinely on a weekly basis for sure.
So on our team, we talk about social media all the time. I'm sure everybody does. And if you ask any one of my team members or TK's team members, they're going to tell you that social media is not a pillar of your business. It's not a bucket that you can roll in. It's social proof, right? So social media is awesome because it lets everybody you know that you're doing stuff. You're doing activities, but you have to have the activities to post about. You have to have the business to post about. So just think about social media that way rather than all the posts and I'm going to get leads from it. I hope you get leads from it, but that should not be the pillar that you're building your business.
Give thoughts on the mic.
So social media is only effective if you are reaching out to your own sphere. So go and add everybody you graduated with, everybody you went to college with, every realtor you know, because you want people that are living in houses, you want people that are buying houses, you want people that are learning. So how I get referrals off of social media is somebody follows me. Hey, my sister's moving back home. Can you sell her a house? Yeah, baby, I'm gonna call them later today. And that is the networking. Somebody had a baby, congratulate them, reach out to them, call them. You only see that if you're scrolling. So there is a way to use social media for your sphere, but you gotta be active on there. You can't just post and walk. You gotta scroll up on their stuff. They do a save the date. Great, they're gonna buy a house soon. So like you can make social media profitable. You have to be very targeted in who you're reaching out to, at the same time, it's not just looking pretty.
Yeah, sorry, I should have said that, you're 100% right. What I meant was the simple posting that you closed the house is not that killer, right? So she's 100% accurate. It has to be dedicated to a specific reason, in order to count that as a building. That's what she said.
I think social media is a great tool, but it's just, we can't just rely on that.
I
Okay,
mean, how many deals are each of you getting from social media here? Just a person reaching out. Rating maybe more.
5, probably.
Yeah, I'd say 4 on an average.
It's a hard answer for me because it's my sphere. It's just, so,
it's pretty hard for me to answer that as well. I would say a majority of my business is in part due to social media, but it's not like I'm running an ad and then, I talk to agents all the time, they'll be like, oh, I ran an ad about first time home buyer program and I got 55 leads that reach out to me. I've literally never had that happen in my life. I've tried. Nobody gives a shit about me running an ad about anything. So it's literally always organic, but it stems in some way from it.
Yeah.
Because I'm very good about adding people, like as soon as I meet them on social media, like instead of getting their phone number, I'm like, just let me add you. So like for me, it's just different. I think you would probably say the same thing.
To raise the question, how many people reach out to you as on social media saying, hey, I'd love to do this. Maybe that's better.
On average, maybe like 10 to 15.
and that's like a cold lead, like you don't know this person?
No, like they reach out on social,
No.
right? Is that what you're asking?
When they didn't text you, they didn't call you, they were just like.
You hear the little messenger ding? To me, that means money every time, like, oh, yes, it's great. But that took years and years and years and years, guys. Like that doesn't just happen.
It becomes automated, it's like you're building your reputation. And that's it, and then you become the person that's known within different social spheres, and social media is just a reminder, hey, work with me, hey, work with me.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
Everybody up here, though, whether you're doing social or not, they're all doing something the same for their sphere. I think calling and just being, Tony is just like, I'm just gonna go be in front of that person. Like, that's the most important piece. Do something that's in front of them. You can't just post passively on social all the time. You gotta eventually get in front of them, and then that's where the magic actually happens, right? Like those DMs that I'll get, it's usually like, hey, we were together like a month ago somewhere. Like I went to a wedding this weekend. I guarantee you I'm gonna get a DM within the next month from somebody I talked to at that wedding. But it's not like I'm targeting them. They just, now they're friends with me on social, they're gonna move or they know something. So, but let's move on to the next question. I wrote down, what are some non-negotiable routines on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis for you guys? Non-negotiables in your business that you have to be doing either daily, weekly, monthly, that pop up.
I post probably 5 times a week. I do at least 1 open house a week still, and make my calls. Fun little trick, just go in your phone, your contact list, and roll the dice, run it up, call someone.
Yeah, I'm looking to add open houses back into my business, but currently that's not a thing. Calls for me has always been the answer. So like I said, for me, I would say between personal calls and then leads or cold leads, it's probably about 400 a week.
So I got a weird one, kind of something I just did, I do, when I share myself, I hand out 5 business cards. That, but having a meaningful conversation, that's not just handing someone to someone and not saying, you know. So I try to have 5 meaningful conversations a day with somebody I don't know in this sphere of like real estate. I don't care if it's going to happy hour with friends, being at my kid's soccer practice, talking to another parent, those just at a jamboree. I talked to 3 people about real estate and a kid's soccer jamboree for 4 hours. It was awesome. I handed out cards to every single one of them. I guarantee you I will get a call from those people.
That side note, every time you do that, if you spend any money, it's right
Yeah,
wherever you are.
see,
Scotty B with just a tax, value add, let's go.
absolutely.
Everybody hand me their business card on the way in.
So
Right about all this nonsense.
that's something I do. I'm trying to make that sphere. I'm very fortunate. I can sit back on my sphere and it's probably settle 18 to 20 hours a year very easily. But if you're looking to continue to grow it, the key is, it's just what we were finishing talking about here is, you're in car fitness, the leads are coming right to you. You're in furniture sale, they come right to you. We are the only business where, other than open houses, our leads don't go to a shop and say, I want to buy this. So we have to create that. And that's the way I.
For a monthly routine, I always am taking out past clients, whether it's coffee, lunch, dinner, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to stay in front of the people that I've had good conversations with. We call it VIPs, and they're like people that are constantly reaching out to us or giving us business. I want to stay in front of those people always, just because they're going to continue to give me business, and I enjoy just hanging out with them. So for me, it's just always taking people out to lunch, coffee, dinner, just hang out. Weekly, I always try to hang with my friends too. Like, hang out with my friends, yeah, I guess it's work now, but staying in front of my spheres, all we try to do. Whether it's whatever.
Yep.
Anything else that you guys want to add to that? Like, even thinking back to when maybe Tony, when you were first starting, was there not non-negotiable?
All these years.
It's a long time.
One routine is, it's tough, but it's easier for the other people, that maybe aren't as tied down, don't have serious relationship with us older folk. No, I mean, it was making myself completely available. I could go through a divorce now. But I made myself very available. I was just constantly, and that was like a non-negotiable for me. I was trying to build my sphere. And when I was talking to my ex at the time, I said, listen, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. I have to be available 7 days a week. I didn't take days off. I didn't give myself the time for a break because I was trying to build something. I was trying to take a small time to create a much longer growth.
Yeah, to the point, I mean, I would call it sacrifice, right? Like, when you're first starting this business, it takes a ton of sacrifice in your personal life. Because you have to be willing to say no to things that you want to go do. The other thing I would say is that the appointment a day rule is what I followed. And that kind of goes hand in hand with office hours. So every day I was in the office from 9 to noon, no matter what that looked like, whether that was a team training, whether that was calling, whether that was, working on property, whatever it might be. Office hours help me stay productive and stay on track. And then the appointment a day, I wouldn't stop working until I set that appointment. So.
Yeah, I'll just chime in. Well, Melissa maybe thinks of one other thing to say, but if I think back to when I first got going, I definitely would accredit it to office hours as well. I went to the office. I remember my wife constantly being like, "What are you gonna do today?" I'm like, I have no idea. I'm just gonna go though, because I know I have to be around people to learn from, right? So, like, get around other people that are doing this job at a high level and just rip off and duplicate what they're doing. For me, I rarely call people. I'm not a big like, "Hey, how's it going?" type of guy. It was always weird for me. So I would always be texting and DMing. I was DMing on Facebook before Facebook was really a thing. It was just starting out, but, I think that that was something that set me apart because no one else was doing it. People had like install Messenger to talk to me back then, like it was ridiculous, but, that was a big one. That open houses for me were my 3 non-negotiables. I was messaging people all day through all sorts of different ways, but mainly direct messaging on social media for sure. Anything else you want to add, Claude? We're orange. Branding's important though.
Branding is important, but I think any entrepreneurial, like, job that you guys take on takes so much sacrifice. So you need to be prepared to give up things that you want to participate in. I mean, still be social, like join a soccer league, but that soccer league is now where you're getting gigs. Yeah, you just, if you want this, you're gonna have to focus on this.
I just think we kind of glazed over this, just to put in perspective, like Dylan, you mentioned calling, Tony, you mentioned like communicating with people, obviously Brady and Melissa. I mean, how many hours a day are you spending outreaching to people on average?
6. That's twice a day.
6 hours of outreach. How about you guys?
It's hard for me to measure. I would say,
Well, you make 350 calls a week.
yeah, my first text message goes out every morning at 7 o'clock. I message the same 5 people every morning, kind of like an accountability group kind of a thing. So, that spreads very quickly. Those 5 people have sent me probably 5 or 6 pieces of business in the last 2 years.
Talk a little bit more about that. You're messaging 5 like VIP clients or?
Yeah, it's very people. I've never actually sold any one of those 5 a house,
But it's the same people.
but it's the same people. And yeah, it's literally like sometimes it's just good morning, sometimes it's motivational little TikTok. It could be something random, like I slept like crap last night. Like I'm reaching the same 5 people in the other group chat every single day. That's what I'm talking about. I would say my last message probably goes out at 10 o'clock, 10:30. So I don't know, 8 to 12 hours, I would say that.
8 to 12 hours of active outreach.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else feeling like shit right now?
I'd say pretty close to what you would say. I wake up every morning, I call the same group of people, talk with them. My whole day is planned. I made 3 stops on the way here at past client's house and at 2 businesses for people with their investors. So I stopped out and talked to them real quick. It wasn't planned, didn't have any objective. It was just like, hey, I'm heading that way, and that's some stuff. So I stopped, did that, had coffee with one of them, came here. After I leave here, it's the same thing. And that's just every day. I'm just constantly working. I take maybe 2 hours an evening with my children when they're there. I started to do a thing, and actually, Lauren, I'll do this one, was putting my phone on do not disturb. And, well, yeah.
That's not work.
No, and I actually took those 2 hours to not do anything. That's about, I like to tell people I'm always working. I am.
Yeah, you're always doing equipment.
I don't care. Like I said, I was at my kid's jamboree coaching, and I'm talking to people about real estate at the same time. Yeah.
What about you?
It's hard to track. We're always talking to people. I'm always reaching out, and mates left. Okay, Zelly's around me enough. He sees me. I'm always on my phone. Even if I'm just sitting there watching concerts with my girlfriend Maddie, I'm still reaching out to people. I got that one for TKs. Like I'm always multitasking.
Mhm.
I'm sitting there watching TV with the kids. I'm reaching out to people, Instagram, Facebook, texting, Snapchatting. I'm young enough. I snap a lot of people. And I have no clue how many hours. A lot.
And listen.
Yeah. I mean, I take Wednesday nights off after 5. Like Tony puts out do not disturb. I throw my phone in my room, and me and my girlfriend just have a date night. Other than that, even on date nights, I'm reaching out to people, and she doesn't need to know that. And this is recorded, right?
It is. Sorry.
But I'm just always reaching out to people. It's the only way we really can continue to have a sustainable business. If we're not reaching out to people, we're not having conversations. If we're not having conversations, we're not someone else's.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys sharing that because I think so many people don't understand how much effort it actually takes. It's not a job, it's a lifestyle. If you, like we talk about all the time, like, hey, you need to be doing an hour of power right? Where you're following up with your active leads, you know, that you're just checking in and making sure we're staying in touch with those guys. But then it's like, it's not just an hour, it's 8 to 10 a day, it sounds like on average from you guys. And so I hope you guys understand that that's what it takes to have a sustainable business. It doesn't just do itself. Like even at this point, Tony's still making stops on the way here and staying in front of people. You know, if you ever just kick your feet up, it's gonna go away quickly.
Don't live too close to our office, it's about 45 minutes, Tony's the same way. I take clients down to Rochester to Savage. I call all the time, I'm in the car, James knows I'll call him out of the blue any day. We have a 20-minute conversation, it's just, I love music, right? I try to listen to the music, but it's not gonna help me selling houses, so I'm making calls all the time in the car. Like Melissa said, she goes through her contacts, scrolls, picks somebody, I do the same thing, but I'm in the car. Just because I got time, I'm not gonna waste it, we're gonna help you.
Yeah, all right. Give me like 1 to 2 word answer on this, just keep it short and sweet. If you had to get a deal today or you like die, okay? Let's get morbid for a second. The Grim Reaper is sitting in front, as he said. Had to get a deal today, what are you doing to get that deal? Short answer.
2 words, cold call. Call.
Who?
For us to leap on circle prospecting a house that maybe just sold and saying, hey, we got a low inventory, there's people interested in this area, do you know anyone that's in this stuff?
Okay, Tony?
No. No, if I had to today, I mean, it sounds so repetitive, but it's the spirit. I go through my phone and do exactly what Boss said. I just go right through and just go, you, and I would find a deal somewhere out of me. Am I not? But it'll be.
Yeah, could be a referral.
Yeah, if it was today, I would door knock for sure. I would door knock at 8 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock at night, and I would do that until somebody wanted to do something.
If you didn't have one at 5, would you keep going or would you die?
I have kids, so
See if you did.
I probably just, I'd be like, I love you guys.
Spend the last few hours together.
Where's sunscreen if you door knock? I would call, some of my investor clients because they're cash buyers, they'll close it in a week. Hey, what are you looking for? And now I'm doing the cold calling, door knocking.
Perfect. So I know we only have like a little bit of time. I'm trying to make sure I pick a good one here. So if you whittle it down, like what is your key to success? Like what is it? Maybe it's, now we've already talked about actionable things, it's more, maybe it's something else. Like what is it that you think really sets you apart from maybe the agents who haven't made it or aren't doing as well? What is it? What's your one thing? Other than wearing orange?
I am protective of my clients. In order to be protective, you need to know everything about them so that you know what their priorities are.
Love it. Everything?
If I had to pick one word, I would say attitude. And I think that encompasses more, but determination falls in that for sure.
Like sassy?
Yeah, like sarcastic. Yeah. No, attitude, I think, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Like, nobody expects you to give a discount. We talked about that during the script battle. I mean, people expect that, but you can't be afraid to push back on that. I mean, this is your business. This is your livelihood. I think attitude and mindset, determination is everything. If you don't have it, you're gonna fall off very quickly.
Well, kind of some of what I was gonna say, but kind of that I'd say balance. Knowing your own value, talking to a client and being able to say, hey, we should sit down, we should talk and see if working together is something that works for both of us. Speaking about your value, but knowing when to say no and when to be able to say, hey, I got some other stuff going on that I'll get to. Don't worry, I'm gonna be there for you. But then also being able to sit there, and go out with clients all the time, and I tell them, I'm not here to sell you a home. Zillow does that, you've done that when you're looking at this. I'm here to make sure you don't get screwed over. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to, I say it a little more crude, I say it. But, but either way, I just say, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to make sure that you're good. And that's one thing I say, like,
Surround yourself by the people you want to be like. I'm in this room for a reason. I joined Tyler's team for a reason. I joined the group, the NSA, for a reason. I don't know if there's anybody in the helpline I haven't reached out to, because they're who I want to be. Do I want to go sell 80 houses like Tyler has? Yeah. So I put myself in the same room as him, listened to him, was a sponge, didn't make excuses, and I just did exactly what he told me to do. The first day I sat down with Tyler, he's like, you listen to me, you will be successful. I said, okay, let's do it. What do I gotta do?
I said, make a Facebook account, you jackass. And then he did it that day before he left the office.
Yeah, I did.
Another good touch point, and it's something that you said, know your weaknesses. Know what you are at. It's easy to sit there and say, I'm super talkative, I'm super personable, I can do all this stuff. We can all say that about ourselves. What are you bad at? I'm a horrible organization. I hate doing work. I procrastinate this shit. I joined this team to help people and fuck other people. Said, oh, what I know I can sell a home. I know I can get it to the closing table. I know business back. Know what you're bad at. So the good parts of you can focus on those, and somebody can build you.
To touch on exactly that, I would say 90% of the conversations I have with agents, including people in this room, will tell me the same thing. They will say, oh, I know calls are where the business is, but I just don't like making calls. I don't want to do it. Okay, well, if that's where the business is, and you want to be in business, I've got questions, I guess. But yeah, I mean, if you're bad at that, that's okay. Accept that fact and work. The way you work on it is by putting in the calls. That's what happens.
And or send lots of messages. Text message, video messages, if you're uncomfortable with what could the call turn into, just reach out somehow. Like you said, you're sending I still like shit message to your top 5 referral partners and you get deals from it because of consistency, staying in front of them. They expect you to reach out to them. And once they expect you to reach out to them, it's not awkward anymore. It's just like, oh yeah, my agent reaches out to me once a month. And I'll just give this tip because I never did this, but somebody shared this with me the other day and I thought it was genius. They call once a month with like a different question about like, hey, we're calling around to see what are your favorite restaurants, because we want to make a list for our database to like when they move into that area, give them the list of like, hey, here's the top restaurants in the area based on our clientele or based on our sphere. So you come up with like a new question just to reach out to that month, right? And that's an easy one. Like that one's genius. I'm like, why didn't I do that? Because it's not awkward. You're just reaching out because you're trying to help your clients, but you're also reaching out and people like to feel like that their opinion matters, right? So that's just a little nugget if you guys want to use that one for reaching out to call people or message people. Come up with what's your favorite restaurant, what's your favorite place to go work out, whatever. Think of it. Think of 12 things and you're good.
I'll tell one story really quick. As a team lead, did a showing for him. Price point was $700,000. I wanted to do that. I would not respond to my text messages of any kind, no matter what I said. So after 2 weeks of just complete unresponsiveness, I sent him a text every single morning from my follow-up boss that said it was either a Laffy Taffy joke or a knock-knock joke, but I would not tell him the punchline until he responded. It took, I think it took 48 text messages, 48 days in a row before I said knock. And he finally said who's there. I closed that deal like 30 days later.
No, yeah, that's awesome.
Why was the joke?
What was the joke? Yeah, you remember?
I do so many jokes.
Oh my gosh. I love how you kept Googling the new knock jokes. You could have just used the same one. Well, but you didn't tell the punchline.
That's so short.
Hey, no, you're reading this.
Yeah. Get a memorize the knock. Yeah.
You got something else? Otherwise, we move on to the next question.
We can move on.
Kind of a two-parter, and then we'll open up the questions from the audience. So we kind of talked about this already during the script battle, but I'd be curious, after hearing everything today, give us your one big, like, what makes you different for a buyer's agent? Like, what's your value add to any buyer, okay? Like, what is your one thing that makes you different, that you think you've earned a lot of business from and got referrals from? And then just really quick touch on your thoughts on the new buyer agent commission rules going into effect. What's your plan? Just elaborate a little bit on your thoughts on it. So start with the value and then get into your thoughts on the settlement stuff.
My value is I'm really nice and prepared for all of my clients, but I am a dog in negotiations. Like, it's just, I will, and I pay attention to this because I know what the seller wants, because I've already represented so many sellers, not the seller expectations, and see what I can do to give to bring my buyer to the bare minimum of what the seller wants. And then I go all out and get everything I possibly can.
You find their bottom, you find the seller's bottom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it might not be nice, so there's always a way. And then buyer's agent commission, I don't know, I think it's a good thing. This is probably how it always should have been. So bring that perspective to your buyers too. Like, doesn't it make more sense that the buyer's paying the agent that represents them? Yeah, and the seller too. Cool. And on the buy side, frankly, buyers agents do more. Charge for gas. You charge 4% on the buy side. Do it. You guys are spending way more time with buyers than you ever spend with sellers.
Boom.
Yeah, value, I would say creativity and knowledge is probably where my value comes. I feel like I'm very well rounded in knowledge in most things in real estate, whether it's title, whether it's lending, and obviously the transaction portion of what we do. So when people have questions, I obviously say, hey, you know what, I'm not an expert on this. From the best of my knowledge, here's what that would look like. And it gives them a bigger picture, and then it lets them trust me a little bit more, so that I can get them with the right people. I can get them with my loan house or my title company, or right, and it's to cleaners, contractors, whoever it might be. So just grow your knowledge for sure. As far as the sentiment goes, I don't know what's happening here. It's work.
Yeah, you gotta do Melissa's move. She goes,
Yeah.
this all of a sudden, and then we're move back. Totally helpful.
Yeah, the settlement, I think, thank you. Settlement, I think, is, I think it's a good thing for sure, to be honest. I think it allows you to, stick up for yourself once again. I think it allows you to have a easier conversation talking about, well, yeah, the seller is paying me 2.7, but I need you to pay me 0.7 now, right? You have to talk about it anyway, so you can set your rate upfront and be upfront and honest and say that way. I do a lot of meetings. So the one question I have is what that's going to look like. And I don't think anything really matters. So yeah, we have some questionable on some things, but I'm excited for the future.
For me, knowledge and negotiation. Those are probably my biggest strengths. I honestly believe this, and will say this, that I know more than most realtors in this industry. And I have no problems in starting copy saying that. And there might be somebody that knows a little bit more about me, but that's my big thing there. And I love negotiating. I love haggling. I love to do it. Come on, something we get a deal together. Let's do this. But I do. That's my favorite part of this business, and I love to do it. As far as the any other stuff goes, nothing's really changed for me, because I've always explained how they work. I think it's great, I agree, I'll be honest, it's gonna push some of the undesirable agents out there. A big issue with our industry over the last, few years here, the last 5-7 years, is there's been a huge influx of agents who don't understand how to do this business correctly. And to get them out of here and to raise the bar within our industry is a huge thing. Because I don't want to be considered the used car salesman. I don't know about you guys, but I like my industry to be propped up and people in my industry and get a desirable stuff.
Yes, the undesirable. Don't be undesirable.
I would say, my value, similar to Tony, if you're looking pretty creative on my negotiation strategies, I'm a little different, I come from a younger mind. So I feel like
Are you calling Tony old?
he is old. But like, creating what values are creativity, I feel like a lot of honesty comes into play. I don't know everything, but I guarantee I can call anybody in this room and they're gonna help me out. It's because I put myself in a position to have support. Yeah, I'm 22, I haven't been in business for 30 years like this guy ever.
75.
So it goes back to, I know my weaknesses, but also explaining that, oh, hey, I have a call away to Tony if I don't know something. And I'm gonna be honest. Somebody asks me, what is that? And I don't know, I'm gonna be like, oh, what that is. But I know somebody that does. So I'm gonna call that person to get that figured out. But then the creativity and just having the support and being honest, like that's my value. Like, I'm a straight shooter. I'm not gonna bullshit an answer to you guys. Like I'm gonna tell you how it is. And like it or not.
Settlement, what do you think?
I don't think anybody really knows what's gonna happen yet. But I know where my value is and I know how much my value brings and what I'm worth that I'm not too worried about it. I guarantee if I ask you guys who's had a conversation with a shitty agent, most of you guys never raise your hand. Most people are probably gonna go away. It's gonna be a good thing. The values just gotta continue to be there, I think, so.
Awesome. Well, we got a little bit of, a few minutes left. I want to throw it out to any of you guys that have questions. So start with, what was your name again? Sorry.
My name is Hercules.
Hot TV? Hercules, sorry. Got it. Hercules. It's an awesome name. That is an amazing name. All right, Hercules is about value add and the buyer is just his name. Literally. So I'm Hercules.
How do you say motivated?
Strategies, motivated on the strategies.
I have two questions. How do you choose which one passes of these strategies?
How do you stay motivated? How do you choose which strategy to do first? Or to make the top priority, maybe?
My motivation goes back to my why I'm even in this industry is, I mean, I dropped out of college with a full ride, playing golf every single day of my life was pretty awesome, but I said, screw that, I'm gonna go get into real estate. I had every single person I know told me I was doing the worst thing I could do, I'm making a terrible mistake. So I get up and I'm motivated by telling these people, hey, look at me now, I proved you wrong, I made that right choice. That's what motivates me every single day, and I talk about this with all my mentees and a lot of the younger guys on my team, like, what's your why? If your why is not strong enough, you won't have that motivation to keep going. So that's what motivates me is my why, and I think about it every day. I know Tyler's got a really good why too, but like, I think about that and it will bring me to tears, hearing like, remembering my dad being like, what are you doing? You're making a terrible decision. You just put in 15 years of your life in the golf and giving it up. It was kind of sad, you're right. But in order for me to prove wrong, we can't be prouder. Picking which strategy to start with, it comes down to how I honestly feel that day. Like I said at the beginning, I love doing all those things now. Door knocking, cold calling, open houses. On a Monday, I'm probably not gonna go do an open house. I'm gonna go Saturday, Sunday. I'll be at open houses for 8 hours straight, Saturday and Sunday, just because I'm having the conversation. So I feel like it depends on the day for me, which comes first. If I had to choose, I'm doing open houses because I'm more of a face-to-face person.
Brady also has, what we call action board, so he has, do you have a day 1, day 2, day 3, or is it Monday through?
Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So Monday through Fridays.
So instead of choosing which one to focus on in the moment, he already has it planned out for the rest of his career. It's just,
Yeah.
day 1 is this, day 2 is this, day 3 is this, and he has about, what do you say, between 7 and 10 tasks a day.
Yeah, at least.
But, well, he has more, for sure, but like, I mean,
It's not the same shit, but
yeah.
it's not rocket science.
But he doesn't leave it up to chance, Hercules, is my point. He has it already planned out, just opens it up. So now he doesn't have to think of what I'm gonna focus on that day. It's just there. And then the rest of it is set by all the stuff he was doing the last month, basically. Once you say it.
Yeah, 100%. It's just following that list, and I know a lot of people live to check stuff off, and so do I, so I know, oh, I did that. Let's go to the next task.
So let's go down the line, Tony. Is there any ways that you use to motivate you?
Well, I mean, there's a couple things. I mean, definitely, I mean, I do have an accountability group. I talk to the same 3 people every morning. I talk to them in session. I just boom, we talk. That's every morning. That some of us just make sure I get that in it before, I'm saying, I don't want my dogs to eat the fix. But biggest one that Brady touched on is, that's, you're doing this by yourself. You got nobody else. I have a saying that I love, and Brady and Tyler and some of our team have heard it. The 2 most important days of a person's life is the reason that is the day they're born and the day they die. So.
The reason they find out why.
Sorry, I keep cutting off. And my reason why is my kids are. But my reason why I have 3 kids, I actually have been, I've been very fortunate to stay in this business for a long time. I do everything for them. I want to leave them a legacy. Beyond money, I want to leave them a legacy of showing them what it means to work hard, be happy, and do something above. Legacy is far beyond cash. So that's a big thing why I do it.
Yeah, motivation for me, TK will probably laugh because, my motivation is up and down for sure, but I call TK and he tells me to just go do what I'm supposed to do. So that's always important. Yeah, motivation is hard, because my why is kind of contradictive. I might have a little bit more of a different why than most people, but my why is time. Time is the one thing that no matter how hard you work, how much money you have, you can't ever get more. And so when I look at the things in my life that are important to me, I want to spend my time doing those things. And real estate allows me a lifestyle that will provide that. And so if I look at that and I say, okay, my why is time, I want to spend time with the kids, my family, or ride my Harley and golf. Well, nowhere in there was I want to go sell houses. And so that can be hard to stay motivated. And so I kind of just do people around me. I talk to my wife and I say, hey, you know, I want to spend time with you and we have goals and I want to go accomplish those goals too. I talk to my team and they motivate me and push me because I want to be the #1 sales agent. So if somebody's getting close to my number, now I gotta go sell something else. Yeah, I think that's kind of that. How I choose the strategy I use is based on personality. I've been selling things over the phone since I was 15. Phone calls are not a struggle for me. So that's the strategy I pick. Face to face, I would say I close more. So open houses are another great one, but once again, I struggle with time. Weekends are a lot of time when I get to be with my sphere. So then do I give up time with my sphere to go do open houses? That's my struggle. So you have to choose what's right for you, what's right for your lifestyle. And I would also say like your buckets of business. Where is your business coming from? And do you need to go add one or do you need to take one away and spend more time somewhere else?
My motivation. So I remember when I was just a new little 23-year-old girl, just like Brady. And
Exactly.
We were at this family vacation and my dad goes, oh yeah, this is my kid, he's gonna be a doctor, this is my kid, he's a statistician. This is my girl, she dabbles in real estate. And now guess which kid is looking to buy her apartment? So laziness is not an option. You just gotta do it. And then with the, how you pick which activities you're going to do, this is gonna be different for every single person. So you're gonna find out something that gets the most reaction, and sadly, you kind of gotta guess and track. So the cold calling. I'm not a big cold caller. I'll do it if I need to, if I'm searching for a very specific property, that's great, but every good business has 4 different streams of where you're gonna get leads from. Now, that can be team leads, that can be open houses, that can be social media, whatever it is, that is where you're getting your business from, and just make sure you've got 4 different things that you're doing on a regular basis to get a consistent income.
Yeah, I was saying TK has a secret 5th pillar that he talks about in our podcast on the level of, I should check that out. But,
Did you cliffhanger me?
no, that was funny. It was a funny thing that I got a secret 5th, I'm like, shut up. But anyways, I think establishing your why, Hercules, is really important. And if you haven't given thought to that, really think about, like, if I go without a sale for a year, what is gonna get me to stand back up and keep going? Like, what is it deep down that is gonna keep you motivated, and make that a visual thing on the wall in your office, you all the time, so that you forget it, right? And for a lot of people, it's like family and all that stuff, but like, dig deeper. What is it? What is it about the family? What do you want to do with your family, right? So that's the big thing for motivation for me, is like, for right away, it was, one of you guys said it, Brady probably, or no, you wanted to be the top sales agent. That was me. I was like, I don't know who the fuck the rest of these people are, but I'm gonna outsell all of them. And I just worked harder than everybody. So for me, that's where it came from, and then it just turned into some other things, but, and then as far as what to focus on, just go with what you're passionate about, because that's what you're gonna stick to. Like, don't try to do someone else's plan. You gotta do what's best for you. For a really quick example, I joined Edina Realty when I got into the industry. I asked who the top salesperson was. It was a guy named Dave Forsythe. Dave Forsythe is an awesome agent, makes probably $350,000 a year, just literally calling the sphere. And it was all past clients. So I sat with him and I'm like, I want to do what you do. He told me what he does. I'm like, that's not going to work for me, because I have past clients. So he wasn't the right person to learn from for me at that moment, right? His model works just like all their models work, but you got to figure out what's your specific, unique value proposition. What are you most passionate about, and then just attack it, because there's opportunities everywhere, no matter what we focus on, right? So that's what I would say. But anyway, so question for these guys? Let's go, John, really quick.
You guys have your open house. You guys do so your open house
So if you guys didn't hear that, he's asking, how do you differentiate yourself at an open house?
I feel like I've got my scripts on lockdown, like it's just the same thing basically for every single person. I also don't have flyers or business cards because,
You want them to talk to you?
I want them to talk to me, and you know what, let me text you the information about the house. Now I have their contact.
Yeah, that's a huge one. You guys stop giving away a freaking flyer, stop giving away a business card, get their information every time.
Yes, I would say I don't really do anything to separate myself, other than when people come in the house, they get a very, very different, perspective on what real estate can be. So my only goal with an ordinance is this: if somebody walks into the house, I want to know their name and their phone number by the time they leave. I don't give away a card, I don't do any of that. Even if they have another agent, I always ask for their name and number so that I can send a group text to their agent, just say, hey, thanks so much for coming to the house. I have that contact info and I have that agent's info too, which is just a great way to network in this industry. So that's how I treat openers.
Exact same thing they said with the no flyers. That was a trick I learned from a very smart agent. But the other one would just be, I don't do that much. I don't do that anymore, to be honest, because I freaking hate them. And I'm tired of them. But probably one of the most creative things I have seen was Jeff actually did an amazing open house where you had like the cookout and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
Some chat bubbles.
you guys, that was amazing. Like, that was one of the greatest open houses I had seen recently. Just making fun of it. This is the biggest purchase of somebody's life. Make it more fun. It's already stressful. So that's kind of a cool way to do it and just differentiate yourself. So I would suggest going, do you have a TikTok about it or like a reel or something? Go look at Jeff's reel, that's a good one.
Yeah, no business cards, text people information, one thing I do is I actually print out like other homes in the area that are for sale. Like, oh, is this house ready for you? I'll hide it in the drawer until they're like, it didn't have this, and I'm like, well, this house does. I'm done at 3, let's go see it at 3:15. Set an appointment there for another house down the road. Another thing I feel like I do is that I'm always bringing a speaker and I'm always bringing food. Like, it's a party basically. Balloons, like the whole deal Jeff does, like, you stand out, those neighbors are gonna notice, and if they're even thinking about selling that house, they're gonna call you because you do it differently. The other thing I do is actually follow up with the leads. I feel like a lot of people miss that.
There's a follow up.
We get these informations and I know we're all calling them like, oh, hey, would you think, was there any other houses we saw? Just continue to have a conversation with them and provide that value that we've been talking about already.
Other thing, pass. What?
I do giveaways. And I'll be like really expensive giveaways that I pay out once a year. So instead of like $50 house. Right? Or you go in with a bunch of people in your group or on the team and you do like a $10,000 giveaway or something like that, done things like that. Because some people, they just don't want to give information, or they'll give you the wrong phone number, or the wrong email. If I put $1,000 gift card giveaway, they're putting the right things, right? So that was one thing for me, and then, I like to leverage the off market as much as I can. We have boards made up that you can put in your open house, and it's like scan here, and it takes them right into the app. Put in their information, and then now they're making my system. Which is something that I just don't think that the open house on the street is gonna happen, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, one of our team members did this stuff. That was a great idea too. I haven't done it yet, but with every lead that came through his open house, he sent the personalized video and text message. So he recorded himself just saying, thank you so much for coming in. It was great connecting with you. But it wasn't a standard text message. The video of him talking directly to that person. So I thought that was a really good thing.
Yeah, immediately after. Yeah, or even after. Yeah. Yeah, he said.
He does it before he leaves the open house so that the follow-up's already done. He doesn't have to worry about that. And then he follows up the next day too. So
I do the same.
Tyler, to your point, you know, like $1,000 and yeah, not that, you know, but I did a $20 target gift card. We got 23 event, and it's like everybody put down their own, you know, yeah, just for $20, yeah, sweet. And I call it a single, yeah, and I like, I just card, but I didn't care. So, 100%, but I picked up 3 leads out. Yep, just for $20.
Yeah, if you're bad at asking for information, just do it for a giveaway, make it easy fix. I don't know why everybody is so scared to put up $50 for a giveaway. Like, it's not that hard. Did you have someone had another question? I think, was it Jeff maybe? I think Jeff had one, but he walked in. Did you finally beat him in the arm wrestling match? Was that why he's sulking? Any other questions for these guys? Scotty B.
Motivation and action, you guys are anything for that, I know Tom really not, but you have to. Anything?
Agent attraction.
Look at Brady over here.
Building a team, attracting business partners, what do you do?
Yeah.
Get a beer, this, or well, okay, every roach, whatever, that's my one.
Or TJ?
For me, I've been there for a year and a half. I have 10 or 11 people in my downline already, and it goes down to 3 levels. I think almost every single person in my downline's here, and it's because of events like this. You can ask Brooke, it just be under. She had an open house, and was like, hey, I wanna learn from you. She was like, what do you mean you wanna learn from me? And I'm like, just sat in front of her and we started talking, now she's here. But I also sit with them every week on Wednesday from 12 to 2, and we prospect together. Because if they're not selling houses, it doesn't matter at all. So I'm always trying to provide value for everyone in my downline, but then I post about it on socials and people reach out. How do I get in this? How do I become a part of this? I have people in Florida that actually reach out to me and are like, hey, like, I see what you're doing, like, can you help me? And I'm like, yeah, like, we're part of the fact that there's this team in Jacksonville, join them, pick me as your sponsor, we'll meet weekly. And just continue to provide value and post about it on social media, because half the time I don't even recruit, they reach out to us.
You're attracting it, right? And with Brooke, you put her up in a chair, and put her in a social video, if I recall.
We did, we threw her in a chair.
It's a great video.
It's social media, what I do, have another business. I will tell you right now, that I have so many people reach out, what do you do? Oh, you're a realtor, that's right, you're a realtor, right? When I ask you to get in this business, what do you think about this? It's the easiest thing you can do, it's just social media.
Yeah, direct messages work really, really well for me. Grabbing coffees and meetings in person and just mean, it's a lot like prospecting for clients. The goal is to meet as many people in person as possible. So I direct message probably 10 people a day, and I try to pick 10 different people every week.
10 different agents.
Yep.
Sure thing. I'm not gonna say social media, so I will go to my lenders. Hey, who do you know is happy? We'll set it up. And,
Hey, Mark, what do you know that's unhappy? Can you introduce him to me? Thank you.
yeah, I wanna meet them.
No one will reach out to Mark, he's my.
I love them, people.
Wait, what did Tony call them? The non-desirables. The undesirables.
That and I use the podcast to like either like, but that's for like me going after team leads. Hey, come on my podcast, I want to hear about your success story. So you could do that with like any agent. It's just my podcast is a little bit more niche, so I'm not gonna go with a whole bunch of agents.
I can't believe that you were the first one that should podcast on this panel. I'm a little disappointed. Right?
And you guys all said social media, stop.
Geez, like flipping the roles here. For me, Scott, it's literally like, don't worry about any of this other shit, just add value in people's lives. Like, and the real big way to do it effectively is through events that you don't have to join anything to come to these events. It's just, hey, show up. If you never come to EXP, if you never come to my team, great. I'm sure that there's something that I can learn from those people. And if anything, it's just another person that I know in the industry that will hopefully pay off someday with something. But so I think it's just giving value without expecting anything in return, and good things will happen. But providing a platform for yourself to be at these events, because not many people do effective events, or if they do them, they're typically for like their brokerage, or you know what I mean? And so there's very few that are like, hey, come one, come all, doesn't matter. We're never getting into any United Realty office meetings, Scott, unfortunately. I think all of us want that, but it won't let us in there. So we just have to lead through events and then just share about it and put everybody else in the spotlight, make sure that they feel appreciated, and good things will happen. And then, like Melissa's case, for example, when she reached out to me, she had just saw that I was here and vocal about it and loved it, and we sat down. So I mean, it's just, good things will come if you are just providing value to everyone, best you can. Maya,
That was really.
Lady Gunner, that's her floors opening minutes on Xbox.
One that you guys didn't say as far as dating and attraction, I'm only doing it because two of them are here, but staying in touch with people that you've done cash transactions with. So when I was a brand new agent at Chris Lindell, I actually was on the opposite end of the transaction as Ryan. He was super nice throughout it and wasn't like an a-hole to me, like, oh, you did this wrong or that wrong. And so we just kind of like stayed in touch, kind of back and forth, and hey, how's business going? How are things doing? And now we show your thing. So, people who are doing deals doesn't mean that they're necessarily happy. So those are opportunities too.
I would say in most cases, they're not.
Exactly.
Most people in this industry are not. So
A lot of them.
it's a lot of undesirables. This is just, honestly, there's lots of people that just, they are needing to be part of something better and bigger, So, those of us that are part of this group, I mean, I think we just know it is life changing. And so it's just something like, if it's that awesome, why would we keep it a secret? So it's just easy to be vocal about it, but who had that question? Scotty, next question, but anyone else? All right, well, I appreciate everybody being here. Let's give it up for the panelists. But yeah, thanks guys for attending. We'll have another one in 4 weeks and we'll probably go back to, well, either be a master class or a panel, the next one, we'll have a script battle as well. So I'd invite you guys back. Also, please feel free to invite guests. Anybody is welcome, like we said. So, but again, thanks for being here. Thanks for everybody's contributions and have a great month. See ya.